We're going to make our way to the next quadrant. And so this quadrant we're going to be laying out 30-degree angles. So if you have a hard time remembering which triangle that is, always use your protractor just to double check. And you can see that sharper angle lines up at 30. So again, checking to make sure your t-square is along the edge. Take your 30-degree triangle and place that right on top of your t-square and go ahead and construction line quality, a 30-degree angle across the top of the page from the center out. Alright, so in the first quadrant we were able to use the vertical and horizontal lines to lay out every half of an inch. Now in this quadrant we can't do that because one of the things we're going to learn in this section is that you need to have perpendicular bisectors. So if I lay these out at a half of an inch along that line and mark a 30 degree, they're not going to be perfectly spaced a half inch apart like they were in that first quadrant. So what we have to do is create a perpendicular bisector by taking our 30-degree triangle, making sure we're lined up on the edge of the t-square, and rotating it clockwise to the 60, or in this case 120. So once that happens, that becomes that 90-degree perpendicular bisector. And I'm just going from corner to corner, and I'll zoom in here just to show you what that looks like. Okay, so I'm using these perpendicular bisectors along my first setup 30 degree. And you see I use two of them to go from the center up and the center down. And I'm going to measure off of that first 30-degree line that I made every half of an inch up using either the ruler or the half-inch scale. And that line again is perpendicular, just like it was in the first quadrant. So every half of an inch up. Then, from that first line that I created, every half of an inch down. And that's going to ensure that it fills in the complete quadrant. Alright, so once that's set, I'll zoom out here a little bit. And I'm going to place my t-square back onto the drawing board and my 30 degree back on top of the t-square. And I'm going to use those half-inch increments. I'm going to start at the top and work my way down. And again, I'm going from that center vertical line out onto the backing sheet. And I'm just sliding the t-square down and sliding the 30-degree triangle over. And I'm always checking to make sure on my left side that the t-square is against the drawing board steel edge. And again, zoomed out it's tough to see, but we want to concentrate on the line quality. The line quality should at this point be construction lines, as light as you can possibly go. And again, now that I'm down here, I'm trying to go from that center horizontal line that we set up in the first video out onto the backing sheet. And I don't want those 30 degree lines going into the lower quadrants. And that's it. Make sure you fill in the entire space, and we'll work our way to the 45-degree angle.